Hi everyone! Hello and welcome to Stories with Michelle, where books are magic. Today's episode is all about dogs. We're reading some really fabulous dog books. The first one is called Fetch Me If You Can, and this book is by Erica Solloso. We're also reading Wuffy and the Dinosaur Dig Adventure. And this book is written and illustrated by Helen Rogosin. And the last dog book is called Oslo's Surprise Adventure. And this book is written by Liliana Tommasini and it's illustrated by Amariah Rauscher. I can't wait to read these 3 books with you today. Ready, set, read! Our first dog book today is called Fetch Me If You Can, and this is by Erica Solloso. Fetch me if you can. Apollo is a playful pup who plays the whole time the sun is up. He chases his tail and digs with delight, then runs around in the warm sunlight. The thing Apollo likes to play with most of all is his blue bouncy ball. One day, Apollo lies down for a little rest and dreams about chasing the ball he loves best. But when he opens his eyes and looks around, his ball is nowhere to be found. "Oh no!" Apollo shouts. "How could this happen to me? I must fetch my ball, but where could it be?" To find his ball that's gone missing, Apollo puts his nose to the ground and starts sniffing. He spins around quickly, then with his nose down, he dashes off to look around town. Apollo heads to the shore where seagulls gather on the sand. Maybe they can lend a hand. "Have you seen my ball?" Apollo asks. "Here's the thing," the seagull sings. "We've seen no balls, just shells and sand. Try searching somewhere on dry land." Apollo continues his search when he spies a squirrel on someone's porch. "Have you seen my ball?" Apollo asks. The squirrel tries to recall if she's seen the ball. "Let me think. The only ball I've seen was pink." Apollo arrives at the park and gives a quick glance. He spots a sunbathing cat and decides to take a chance. "Have you seen my ball?" Apollo asks. "No need to cry," the cat sighs. He takes his time as he lets out a yawn. "If your ball was here, it's long gone." Apollo keeps walking. Maybe he can get the goose talking. "Have you seen my ball?" Apollo asks. "I'll tell you the truth," hisses the goose. "There's no ball in this place I call home. Now leave me alone." Apollo's next stop along the way is a heron he finds beside the bay. "Have you seen my ball?" Apollo asks. "My friend," the wise heron begins, "in time you will find what you seek, even if it takes you more than a week." Apollo looks all over, but his ball is still no closer. Will he ever find it? Nervous thoughts fill his head, but he gives a quick shake and moves on ahead. Apollo keeps going until he sees some ducks floating. "Have you seen my ball?" Apollo asks. "What a shame," Mama Duck exclaims. "I'm so sorry, my dear, but there's no ball here." Next, Apollo sees a rabbit hopping around, moving swiftly across the ground. "Have you seen my ball?" Apollo asks. Twitching his whiskers, the rabbit whispers, "Sorry, I can't help find your ball. I'm too scared to explore at all." Apollo tries once more, Maybe the osprey saw his ball by the shore. Have you seen my ball? Apollo asks. Hello down there, the osprey declares. I haven't seen your ball, I fear. I've been too busy fishing here. Apollo is sad. He's about to give up when his friend Sophia comes along and asks, What's wrong, pup? He tells her about his search and that his ball is still missing. After hearing his tale, Sophia replies, Now it's your turn to listen. Sometimes when you try and you don't succeed, a break is what you really need. Pause, take a breath, and then you can try again. Apollo takes this advice to heart and goes back to the very start. He takes a deep breath and looks around. At last, he spots his ball lying on the ground. It turns out when Apollo napped that day, his ball had simply rolled away. Now Apollo is a happy pup who is glad he didn't give up. And that's the end. Our next dog book is called Wuffy and the Dinosaur Dig Adventure. And this book is written and illustrated by Helen Rogosin. One morning, Wuffy woke up really fast, though he'd hoped his dream would somehow last. He dreamt of big bones and treats galore, but alas, he was woken, and the dreams were no more. Now awake, his dreams reached an end, his nose all a-quiver. Something's wrong with my friend. It was a strange feeling when his lint ball would twitch, no matter where, no matter what, when, like an annoying itch. He'd make his eyes focus to see what was wrong, and soon got a message. It never took long. I've got it, he shouted. Bun needs me to look. She's once again lost her dinosaur book. To the bus he ran without a doubt. He could lead the search to help his friend out. The bus stopped at a deserted place, leaving Wuffy confused, a puzzled look on his face. Ready to help, but no Bun to be found, he explored the area, but she wasn't around. He soon sat down to take a cool drink, when off in the distance he heard a sharp clink. What could that be? He wondered once more. There's nothing for miles. He was hot, tired, and sore. Wuffy echoed from all around. He focused his ears to follow the sound. High up above, Bun, wearing a hat, was chiseling the mountain with an odd-looking cat. Whoa, what are you doing? Wuffy let out a shout. Up here, can you come? Said Bun. And help us both out? So up Wuffy scrambled without even a yelp. When friends needed him, he was going to help. He got to the top, then let out a slow whistle. Under blades of grass, weeds, and thistle was a huge fossil. How to excavate the giant treasure? Wuffy scratched his head, then started to measure. A skull for sure, but of what? Who knew? Once he saw Bun's problem, he knew just what to do. He trenched it and dug, took a picture or two, stepped back to see if it needed much glue. He chiseled and brushed, he braced it and plastered. For Wuffy, paleontology was something he'd mastered. At last it was packaged, as good as they might, now to get it down safely, to leave the dig site. Together they carried the prize down the hill, while Wuffy worried it would take a big spill. At last they made it, they filled up the truck. It might be a T-Rex, Bun said. What luck! That night, Wuffy lay in his bed and dreamt of dinosaurs dancing round his head. T-Rex jaws and pterosaurs soaring, watching them would never be boring. He jumped from his bed and looked down at his toes. There was Bun's book, right under his nose. And that's the end. And at the back there's some fun fossil facts and instructions on how you can draw Wuffy yourself. And that's the end. We are ready for our next book. This one's called Oslo's Surprise Adventure. And this book is written by Liliana Tommasini and it's illustrated by Amariah Rauscher. It was Oslo's 10th birthday and he was celebrating by playing fetch in the backyard with Octavia, Ludovic, and Nathaniel. Oslo played fetch with his children in the backyard every day, so he wasn't sure it was that much of a celebration. But then the backyard gate opened and his best friends Maya and Chapo rushed in barking. Nona and Taunt Micah followed. Surprise, surprise! The family went inside the house to bake a doggy birthday cake and Oslo's favorite biscuits. Oslo and his friends stayed outside to sniff things, roll around, and do a bit of digging. Soon, Maya said, "This isn't a very exciting birthday party, Oslo." Chapo, who was very daring, said, "I know, let's go to the dog park." "Alone?" Oslo replied. "We shouldn't leave the house without a grown-up." Chapo scoffed. "They're too busy to notice we're gone. It'll be fun." He slipped through the unlatched gate. "Come on, Oslo," Maya urged. "Let's go after him." "I don't know where the park is," Oslo whined. Maya was already on the other side of the gate, so Oslo quickly followed. Chapo was waiting down the block. "I knew you'd come," he boasted, wagging his tail. "Which way to the park?" "Well, this way, I think," Oslo replied. The three friends walked block after block, constantly stopping to sniff flowers, garbage, and other dogs. Soon, Oslo realized that he didn't know where he was. But Chapo kept going, and Oslo and Maya had a tough time keeping up. Oslo noticed a white car following them and shivered. He didn't want Chapo to be alone. "Come on, Maya, we have to stay together." Maya yelled, "Chapo, slow down." Chapo, with a shrug and a shake, turned back to join them. Oslo watched the white car drive past. Soon the smell of barbecued hot dogs filled the air, and their stomachs began to make loud noises. "I'm hungry," said Maya. "Me too. Let's go back home," said Oslo. "Not yet," Chapo argued. "We haven't found the park." He jumped up and ran down the street. Once again, Oslo and Maya followed Chapo. When they caught up, Maya said, "I need to rest." They all laid down under a shady tree, and Chapo and Maya fell asleep. Oslo tried to stay awake to guard his friends in case the white car returned. But as his eyes were slowly closing, Oslo noticed a stranger walking quickly towards Chapo. Oslo jumped up and ran in front of him, growling and barking loudly. The noise woke Maya and Chapo, and they growled and barked too. The man was scared away. "We're going home," Oslo ordered. "Now." Maya whimpered. "I'm scared." Chapo nodded. "And I'm hungry." Maya rolled her eyes. "You're scared too." "This adventure isn't fun anymore," Chapo admitted. Oslo led the way, sniffing, even though he wasn't sure where home was. Suddenly, they heard familiar voices calling their names. "Oslo, Maya, Chapo." The three dogs looked at each other and wagged their tails. "They're looking for us," Oslo cried. Barking, the three friends ran towards the voices. As they turned the corner, they ran into the arms of Mama, Micah, Octavia, and Ludovic. There were lots of hugs and kisses and sloppy dog licks. "You scared us," Mama exclaimed as she and Micah leashed the dogs. Nona and Nathaniel were happy to see everyone come home together. "I knew you'd find them," Nona said. The kitchen was decorated for the celebration, and Oslo's doggy birthday cake sat in the middle of the table. Everyone sang "Happy Birthday," and the three doggies gobbled up several slices of cake. Oslo couldn't stop wagging his tail. "I'm so happy to be safe at home with my family and friends." While the family was eating their dinner, Chapo said, "You were brave today, Oslo. Thank you for saving me." "Oslo is wiser than us," Maya declared. "He knew we shouldn't go anywhere by ourselves." Chapo nodded. "It's dangerous out there." "It sure is," Oslo agreed. "But it was fun, too." Soon it was time for Nona and Mika to leave with Maya and Chapo. Mama gave each doggie a bag full of biscuits to take home. Oslo said goodbye to his friends. "Next year," he said, "I'll be happy to celebrate my birthday playing in my backyard." And that's the end. At the back we have a nice recipe for some dog biscuits and a really nice memory of Oslo, who inspired the book. And there's your author and illustrator. Remember to like if you love Storytime, subscribe so you never miss a story, and share with your favorite reading buddy. Thanks for watching. See you next time.